What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I am the Old Toy Guy. Welcome back if you're not new. If you are new, welcome. Quick rundown about me before we get into the meat and potatoes of this video. I like to collect motu and wrestling for the most part. Not a big Star Wars fan. I know that that might aggravate a lot of people, but you know, it is what it is. I do motu and I do wrestling. That's what I've done since I was a kid. There's no breaking that, I guess. Can't get out of that routine. I don't collect everything motu, not all the lines. Mainly vintage and origins. Got some minis over here over my shoulder. And wrestling figures. A wide array of wrestling. I've got LJNs, Ultimates, Legends, AEW, Remcos. I'm a big Remco fan. I know a lot of people may not be. Some people may not even know what a Remco is, but I do collect the Remcos. So if you're into any of that and like to see what I have, kind of go along with me on this adventure of collecting, hit that subscription button. It's a free way to help the channel, help me out tremendously, and you may click that notification bell so you'll know when I put out a new video, which I'll go ahead and tell you is not all the time. I don't do a video every day. Sometimes I don't do a video at all during the week, so I just kind of get it when I get it. So life's crazy and you gotta take care of a lot of things. So I get the videos when I can get them. But enough about all that. Let's get into today's video. What this video is about today, which you probably already know since you've seen it on the thumbnail. But little story behind this. Got a package delivered a couple days ago. Been waiting on this package for about a week, but it's that time of year where all kinds of packages are getting delivered to the house. Got 3 girls in the house, so packages all the time, and they're never for me. And this one just got kind of stacked in with theirs. I didn't ask. I figured they would tell me if it was mine, because I don't rummage through since it's that time of year. But yeah, I seen it sitting there, but I didn't look at it. My wife says, "Hey, you got a package there. It's been here for a couple days." So as soon as she told me it was mine, I knew what it was. Inside this box here that says the Mattel family of brands, I knew it was my Camo Con. So Mattel exclusive Camo Con dropped, I don't know, I wanted to say a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. And been waiting for this thing to hit for, it feels like 6-7 months. It kept saying coming in the fall, coming in the fall. Well, fall's almost over and it never did drop. And then it went away from the Mattel Creations page. So I was like, well, they got to be coming out with it real soon, or they just forgot about it, or just kind of shuffled it off to the back. I didn't know what was going on. I just know it went away, and I've been waiting on it. So finally, I got the email that said, hey, it's going to drop on this day and this time. So made sure I got in there. I got 2 of them. You know, of course, one to open, one to keep in the package. So here we are. Haven't touched it yet. Gonna do this on camera here so you can see exactly what we got going on. Maybe you've already got yours. Maybe you haven't. If you haven't got it, it should be coming anytime. Because like I said, I got mine 2 or 3 days ago. So, yep, there's 2 of them. Comes in the box there. Nice little, got the little poppers, which you can't really pop. Got my receipt of sale. 2 motu PC items. That's what they're listed as. Enough of that. There we go. It's packaged in there side by side. The Snake Man. Now, this is the first of the Snake Men that I've gotten. I know there's a lot on the way. I haven't seen anything in my area newer than, I think the newest motu figures at retail in my area, Walmarts and Targets, are the Leech and the Snout Spout deluxe figures. Got those. I've already unboxed the Leech. Still haven't done Snout Spout yet. He's coming up pretty soon. But and then Wave 9, which is the Sorceress Jitsu Wave. That's the newest thing at retail. And I know I've seen Wave 10, Wave 11, what's supposed to be coming out, but I just haven't seen anything. So if you've seen any of that in your area at a Walmart or Target, let me know in the comments so I know to be watching for it in my area. So I'm ready. I'm waiting for those things to come out. But that's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about the old Camo Con here. So here's the front of the box. Snake Men. You got the snake head there with the snake going through it. 2 snake heads coming out each side there, and that's all it says. The Snake Men on the back. You got the con there, and then you got the old blurb up here. It says, it's hard to read. The Snake Men. The dreaded Snake Men have arisen from the darkest depths of Snake Mountain to join forces with Skeletor and his evil warriors. King Hiss and his repulsive reptiles have vowed to destroy He-Man and the heroic warriors, as well as the evil horde. Will Eternia fail? No. Will Eternia fall to the slithering swarm? Look for the serpent symbol on the Snake Men. Okay. So, and there you got the big picture of the con there. So let's get this thing opened and see what we got. There we go. Let's get that down here because I'm not opening the other one. Looks pretty cool. So we got the Camo Con right there. Camo Con, you see the Snake Man head up there, snakes coming out. Got his additional head down here. I was wondering if he was going to be a deluxe figure with the extra head, but he's not. Got the Snake Men symbol down here. We got a lot going on the back here. But this is in a, as you can see, it's kind of shiny, glossy. Slide that right out of there. Let's take a look at this first. So when you're looking at the back, that's what we got. Now, all these guys, I'm not going to remember their names right now. Once again, we see Moss Man here. There's a lot going on. Holy moly. It doesn't give us a comic, but it wow, this is a lot. yeah, I'm not gonna be able to remember all these guys' names because there's just a ton of it. This has got to be the best artwork piece that I've seen, vintage or new, because it opens up and you got right here where the figure was, and you also have on the back, you've got King Grayskull, you got Moss Man, you got the Castle Grayskull, and this is the, you know, like I said, his name is escaping me right now, the giant He-Man figure. It's just, and there's so many, so it's like they just threw it all out there, and it's crazy. But here's, I'm just gonna let you take a look at it. I'm not even gonna try to name off everybody. This is the back. Okay. Now we open it up. Look at that. Here's another one. We're seeing some people and some things numerous times here. I'm gonna go to the middle. I'm trying to make sure you can see this. Okay, and then here's the other side. Let's see if I can make sure you're seeing it all. Alright, so that's a lot. That's a lot. So many characters, so many figures on here. It'd be a 10-minute job just sitting here naming them all off. So I'm just gonna have to take a look at this off camera because there's so much on there. You don't want to see me sit here and watch me just looking at this. I'm amazed, and I'm not a big artwork person. I am the first to admit that. They do a great job, but I don't go crazy over it like some people do. But this is amazing. So let's get to the figure. That's why we're here. So this garbage down here. There we go. Let's get this spray head out of here. And let's see how many bands we got on this thing. How many bands did you give me this time, Mattel? Let's see. Well, we got one big one here going from wrist to wrist. Okay, that's gonna get our little baggie of goodies. So let's see what's in this bag first. All right. Well, first off, we got his spare head, which the vintage figure I have back here, I didn't get it out, but this is what the vintage figure looked like, pretty much. Just a basic head. We got 2 extra hands. We got the little zapper gun, and we got his little baton-like weapon. Which I don't know if this came with a vintage figure. You can see my little vintage guy right there. That's my Cobra Khan. He does have that gun, and it looks like the vintage version is a little darker, a little more towards the red, whereas this is orange, but it's still the same thing. Looks like it's the same size and everything. So let's get this guy out of the package here. We got the one band going from wrist to wrist around the back, keeping the baggie of goodies in there. And we got one on each ankle. All right. And we've got one on his what we call that, his little shot of water, I guess. That's what we'll call it, his little shot of water. All right, that one was a little tough to get off of there. So here's his little shot of water. That's supposed to, you could put this in his mouth there, and it looks like water's coming out, like he's hissing the water out. So, get this guy out of here. All right. And there he is. The Camo Con. Now, I don't know the whole story behind the Camo Con, but apparently he was in the vintage line, he was a figure that was released in Australia, I think, with the paint of, that's why he got the camo, because of the camo looking paint, whereas the vintage did not have that. It was just green. So, if you're not familiar with the vintage version of the Camo Con, here's the gun, as I was telling you about. It's vintage, is a little more red than this one. It's orange, but the head on the vintage looks a lot like this one. You can see the color difference, but this one has the camo on it, whereas the vintage did not. Now the vintage was just, this is the American release, was just green. Just regular, plain old green. He's got the brown, kind of like snake scales on him. Nothing special about his belt there. Nothing special really about his boots. He's got the same boot scheme as Skeletor and Zodak and a few others. But, he's got the webbed feet going on. And you could fill up his body. You could take his head off, fill his body up with water, and apparently I still have a little bit of water left in there, but you can do it and just squirts water out there like he's hissing his venom. But that's the vintage Cobra Khan. Now you get this guy, whereas he's got the cobra head. He's got the flared out sides just like a cobra does. But he's got all the camo markings. The vintage guy had regular hands, whereas he has the lobster claws. And the vintage has the brown right here, whereas he does not. He's just got the Snake Man emblem. He's got the markings, but they're just not colored like the vintage is. So but his feet, if you Notice he's got his nails painted. You know, he's styling there with the white toenails. But you know, if you're familiar with this line, like I say in every video, if you're familiar with this line, you know all the articulation. Ankles a little stiff at first, but they come around. You got the mid shin, you got the knees, you got the hips, elbows, wrists, shoulders. You take off his head. This guy is not, you're not gonna fill him up with water and shoot regular, you know, real water out of his mouth. I don't know if I can get this other head on there. Took some convincing, but I got it on there. You know, a little squeaky at the waist. A little squeaky, but he turns pretty good. Comes apart there at the waist, the arms, the head, the legs, all the, you know, all the usual disconnect points are the same. But there he is with the other head sculpt. We'll put this big old massive snake head back on him. But anyway, as I was saying, the Camo Con was apparently in the vintage line was just a variation that was released in Australia, I believe. The American version was just pretty plain, but the Australian had the camo markings. I believe that was the only difference. So this is just kind of an homage back to the Australian version, which I think is pretty cool. You know, it's pretty cool that they're doing things like that with this line, just kind of like the Wondar. You know, it's just kind of a weird little thing they did back in the day that they really didn't think was going to be all that much, but it turned out to be a big deal later on, kind of like this. So they're just kind of paying homage back to that, the little variations, which I like that. I like it a lot. I think it's pretty cool. But it's kind of disappointing you can't squirt the water out of this. So but you put the water there and in his mouth, it looks like he's shooting the water out, which, you know, for display purposes, which is what I'm going to do with this. So it's not the same, but it looks all right. It looks pretty cool. I guess I'm just a little more, I like the action features, but yeah, Camo Con, man, he looks pretty cool. Let's take these lobster claws off here and let's put some hands on him. And we'll compare him to the old vintage, as close as we can get to the vintage. I'm always a little nervous putting these hands on, just because, you know, the piece that you put them on sometimes feels a little flimsy, and sometimes you really got to use some force to get those things on there. And makes me a little nervous. Makes me a little nervous sometimes. But they went on. They went on just like they're supposed to. And there we go. Let's do this. Let's put his little little zapper in his hand. Let's get his zapper in his hand. And this is one of the things that I like to do with these Origins, is kind of compare them to the vintage line, because that's what it's all about. You know, it's kind of a, it's making the old new again without sacrificing the basic playability. You know, you can get this for your kid and they can play with it just like you know, us old folks did with these back in the day when they were coming out, you know, but you're bringing it to modern times, you're doing it in a modern way, which obviously is the whole reason for this line. So I always like to compare. You know, it's the color of this guy really stands out. I like how his boots, they're not just a regular old brown like you've seen on a ton of characters back in the day. He's actually got kind of a goldish colored boot, and his belt's gold. I think the toenails are a little bit weird, but you know, hey, they stand out. It's all right. It's cool. This one, I guess you could say he's got his nails done because he's got a little paint wore off of them, but looks like he did his nails green. But you know, the eyes, you look at the eyes, they look pretty cool. You got some detail there in the mouth, the eyes. The arm has some texture to it there. Give it a snake look, like it's scaled. So yeah, there he is, the Cobra Khan. Been waiting for months for this guy to come out. Finally came out, and glad I was able to get in there and get him. He sold out pretty quick. I don't think he sold out as quick as like Wondar or Grizzlor, the first time Grizzlor, you know, the first go around of Grizzlor. But he did sell out pretty quick. I think he was a limit of 2 this time. I think Grizzlor was a limit of 3. He was a limit of 2. So if you got him, congratulations. I think you're gonna like him. He definitely stands out. Especially we're gonna keep this big old monster snake head on him just because it's cool. This one means business. He's got the teeth right there. Look at him. He's got his teeth. This one here does not have teeth. But, you know, you can put the water in this head as well. It looks like he's shooting the water out of that head also. So yeah, there he is. Cobra Khan, my impression. I like it. I like it. Another good job. Another good figure by Mattel. Don't really know if I've seen a bad figure in this line yet. Nope. Haven't seen a bad figure yet. Don't think we're going to, but there it is. The Cobra Khan. See how easily he stands up on his own. Oh yeah, no problem there. So, well, that's it. That's it. That's my impression. Cobra Khan, he's nice. Nice figure, definitely different, in a good way. Really looking forward to seeing all these Snake Men coming out. As I'm looking forward to Wave 10 and some other stuff to come out. Seems like it's been a long time since we've had anything, but hey, all good things will come in time. Don't rush it. It'll get there. So, Cobra Khan, that's it. Definitely gonna have to go check this thing out. I'm gonna sit on the couch and just take a deep dive into this. I'm seeing King Hiss, Tongue Lasher, Mossman again, seeing Eternia again, seeing maybe laser light Skeletor up there in that top. Wow, it's incredible. It's in Snake Mountain, Eternia. Yeah. Hopefully you got yours on the way if you haven't got it. But that'll do it for this video. And thank you for clicking on this video. And as I said in the beginning, if you haven't subscribed, think about subscribing. It's a free way to help the channel. I'd very much appreciate it. And give it a thumbs up. Let me know if you've seen any of them lines coming out around where you're at. Yes, no, maybe. Thanks for clicking the video. I'll see you in the next one. So after looking at this thing for about 20 minutes, I'm going to show you. This is kind of like the comic, but yeah, Snake Mountain. Pretty sure this is Laser Light Skeletor. See him there, see him there. Let's see, who else do we have on here? You see him right there. You got Eternia back here. You got the giant green. And then you got the giant He-Man looking figure. And down in here, there's a bunch. It's tough to see it, but I'm seeing Tongue Lasher, King Grayskull, Moss Man again, King Hiss, and I don't remember their names, but you got the guy with the really long arms, and then you've got this guy, which I don't know if I'll even be able to get him close enough for you to see it, but then we have, again down here, we got Moss Man. We got that, it's a different He-Man. I think it's Laser, what is Laser Lights He-Man? He's got the little laser sword, or whatever it is. He was one of them late He-Mans that got made, so I never had that one, don't even remember his name. And I can see Mechaneck right there. It's just, and some of it's so small. And then there's the one that his neck goes up and down. That's the one I was trying to point to you earlier. It's just, there's so much.